Welcome everybody. Today's video finds us up here in Si Satchanalai. This is one of the three cities that's part of the Sukhothai UNESCO World Heritage Site. And this one is fantastic. I came here almost 2.5 years ago, was the last time I was up here. And I wanted to come up here just to see this site because it is one of my favorites. It's just absolutely fantastic. There's hardly any tourists up here and there's some amazing ruins, really cool stuff to see. And so anyway, we're gonna walk through the walled part of the city today and we'll look at like the elephants and some of the other stuff, the old royal palace that was all in here. And let's see what we see today. Now we're going to go into the city walls, but outside of the city walls, all through the trees here are just a bunch of these cool temples that they used the laterite stones. They made these walls and they're just all scattered out here. Some of them are just like the bases like this. Some of them have some nice little Chedis and they're just a whole bunch of them outside. So you could spend quite a bit of time just exploring those. You can see there's another temple over there. And I don't know if you can see it, there's a temple over there, and then here is the moat, and then we'll go in the gate. But I think this is just absolutely fantastic. You can see how they stacked up these laterite stones, and then you would have came in here to the temple itself, and you can see the columns, and then there was the bell-shaped Chedi over there. Oh, that's just really, really cool. So over here is the entrance to the park. This will be a pay site. So you have to buy a ticket over here. And they have a little tram. You can ride the tram if you would like, but today we're just gonna walk through the park. Here's the ticket window. It's 100 baht for foreigners or 20 baht for the Thais. And it doesn't include the other sites that are around here. There's a couple others like this kiln site and a few other Wat Chom Chon and Wat Mahahat. Those are outside of the gate. We're gonna just look in here in the main part. Those others are like 100 baht or 20 baht to see them. And I've been to the Wat Mahahat. It's fantastic. I've never been to that Chom Chon. It's an archaeological site. And I guess there's some like excavations they've done there with 3rd and 4th century. So it may be worth something to check out. So let's go in here. This is just absolutely fantastic in here. I really, really like this place. And they have some of their stone carvings right out here by the entryway. And we'll cross this little bridge. You can see it was a walled city with the moat. And it's kind of cool how they used all these laterite stones. I really like that up here. I like the sandstone and the laterite stone so much more than brick. And this is the Ramnarong gate. This is the southeast gate. You can see it's the laterite. And they've came back in, they've restored it because a lot of these have fallen down. The trees pushed the brick down. So they restored this right here so you can kind of see what it would have looked like. And King Rama VI came here back when he was the crown prince, I believe. And that's when they named this the Ramnarong Gate. And you can see there's the sign right there. All right, so here we are inside. So you can ride a little bicycle if you want. It costs you 10 baht to bring a bike in here, or you can get on the tram and tool around on it. So you can see the distances here. So we'll go over here to Wat Chang Lom. And the other one is 1.5 kilometers in the other direction. And that's what would be handy if you're on the little tram. So this is our first ruin we're gonna take a look at. Wat Nang Phaya. So we can see here, would have had the outer wall of the temple. There's a little bit of the plasterwork here. This one here, they actually have part of the wall of the temple. And you can see they built a little building over the top of it to keep it intact. And this one here is just absolutely fantastic. So this site here, Si Satchanalai, was like a prehistoric community here. They've excavated and they've found ruins back to the 4th century. And then it was part of the Dawadi culture and then part of the Khmer also. And then they when Sukhothai declared its independence. Check out that styling up there. You can see the plaster on those columns. This was the northern town after they declared their independence. And then when Ayutthaya took over, this was part of the Ayutthaya Kingdom, and then the Lana invaded, and they captured this here, and then it was later abandoned. But oh, this is just amazing. Check this out. This is just really, really cool. So this is styling from the 14th century here. So you could have seen how this would have looked. So imagine this temple with all these little tiny details like this, painted white. It would have been just unbelievable. So you can go up here and see this. I like those little tiny colonnade windows. I can't remember exactly what they're called. I think that's what it is. They just gave you like a little bit of light. They were the small little slits. So this would have been, I think, the Wehan here. And it would have been quite tall. And they would have had a Buddha image over here. I just can't get over how cool this is. So they would have had the Buddha image right here in the back of this. And it would have been facing to the east. And then you have the Chedi right behind there. And then all of this is the laterite stone. The outer wall was laterite stone. They had 4 entrances into this temple. And then the Chedi has the relic chamber and stuff. Looks like we can climb up there to it. You can see the columns here. It has just a little bit of the styling still in the plaster. So these would have been all flowers and stuff like that. And they cut these laterites to like an octagon. Oh, that's just amazing. And then we'll look at the Chedi here. So they had some rails here on the bottom. They plastered it, and then they cut those laterites. As you can see, they made the styling there. The laterite stones are pretty easy for them to quarry, and they could have shaped them fairly easy. Plus, it's a durable material. So you see a lot of those. I like these. They do seem to hold up better than the brick. The brick just kind of deteriorates and turns to dust. This is a cool Chedi. And we'll walk up here and look at that relic chamber right quick. So you can see this is, they would have had an image standing right here. And then some people have stuck the gold leaf and stuff on there. And it is still about 85% all the way intact. It's missing the top of the finale and everything up there. And you can see the other little chambers on the side would have had some images. And check out the rail here. Oh, it's nice. Yeah, Si Satchanalai, the ruins are in really nice shape. And there's hardly anybody that you will come here. I mean, I'm the only person I see here inside of this park. I saw one lady out front taking a picture. And other than that, it's just me here that I've seen. Okay, so there was a little data plate there that said that this temple actually was built during the Ayutthaya era. So it's just 16th century, so not 14th, but still pretty impressive to be here and in as good a shape as this. So you can see here, here's another hall. This would have been the ordination hall. And then you can see that these would have had the sandstone Boasima stones. This one over here is still intact. And then some more of the walls and stuff like that. And they say that the craftsmen, local craftsmen, come over here and they've copied the styling of that plasterwork on the side of the building, and they've put it into jewelry, and they've made a kind of their own unique design, and they sell it as like Si Satchanalai. Now out in the trees, there's not a whole lot to see, but that would have been the former royal palace, and then there's a small Chedi over there. And we're going to work our way over here. We're going to eventually get over to the elephant temple. Okay, so it looks like 2 people riding their bikes over there. So this right here, this is Wat Suan Khao Utthayan Yai. It's a large temple complex. It has 6 rooms, and it has the outer wall, and you can see more laterite stones. Just a lot of stone. So it's kind of empty in here, so there probably would have been other buildings that were made out of wood back when this was in use. So you can see here this hall, and then it has a Chedi in the middle here. Yeah, so this would have been a rectangular floor plan with more of the octagon-shaped laterite stones. There's just a little tiny bit of the plaster remaining here. It's not as in good shape as the other one. And the same as the Chedi. The Chedi is kind of collapsed down more. So these would have been tall columns. And then the Buddha image, you can see just a little bit of it, that they just have it stuck right there. This is kind of interesting. So they've carved this out of the laterite, and it's just right here next to the entrance into this temple. And I don't know what it would have been used for. Looks like it would have held water or something like that. So if you know, let me know. That's kind of a cool piece. And so you have the stairs that would have led up to the relic chamber, and then the perimeter wall and stuff like that here. Yeah, so that's that little run. And there's more over in the trees there, just lots of stuff. The royal palace that was over here is completely down to the base. There's kind of a disappointment. Would have been kind of cool to see it, but there's not much to see. So this is Wat Chedi, Chet, Thaeo. And it's just on the other side of that one that we just looked at. So let's go in here. So it has a Sukhothai style prong right there in the middle. Oh, that is beautiful. Okay, so there's two more of these. So they're on each entryway. So maybe it was here they could came in and wash their feet or something like that. Okay, so the literal translation of this temple here is talking about the 7 Chedis, or the 7 rows of Chedis. So we can see the tree growing over the wall right there. And then the just rows of all of the small little Chedis. Oh, it's just absolutely magnificent. And then here you would have came into this hall. So the King Rama VI, when he came here, when he was the prince, they did a lot of excavation and they found some little artifacts and stuff like that. And they determined at the time that this temple here was really, really important, and it probably contained ashes of the Sukhothai royalty. That's what would have been in all of these little tiny Chedis out here. You can see they have the chambers, they have all the plaster work. Oh, these are just absolutely magnificent. And then we have the little base here, and you can see just the legs of a Buddha. And then more of the columns here, and just more little Chedis. Oh, it's so cool. And then the highlight is definitely this Sukhothai style prong. You can see the sleek styling of it. And then the top, the little fanal is kind of broken off, but it's still a nice example of the Sukhothai style. You can see the styling here. They have all different styles. And that would have been like a little shrine. There would have been a seated Buddha inside of it there. And then you can see the plasterwork here that has just the remains of an image. And that would have been more of a square one on. You can see a lot of the plaster over there on those indented corners. Oh, this is just absolutely beautiful. And then a little bit of the legs here of another one. And then you can see how they did the plasterwork on the bottom of the Buddha pedestal. Oh, it's really nice. So they had kind of like the lotus flowers on the top of it. And then you can see up there, there's a tree and stuff growing up there. Oh, it's really nice. And the same up there. So that is maintained really, really well. So this city here was not all the way abandoned like Sukhothai was whenever it was consolidated into the Ayutthaya Kingdom. This stayed as an important town. They had kilns up here. They did a lot of pottery, and it stayed important and traded and was pretty prosperous. And then just eventually it was abandoned, and that's what you see now. But it was important for the Lana Kingdom, also important for Ayutthaya. And so you can see here, there's a little tiny like part of the laterite Buddha. And in here, oh, this is really cool. I never saw this before. They have a couple of the smaller little elephants here at the base of this Chedi. And then some of the others. Oh, this is a magnificent sight. And then you can see the last look here at this Chedi. And there would have been a walkway around here that would have been covered and would have probably had images and stuff. You can see a little bit of maybe what was a seated image, and then some more of the Chedis over here. You can see the plaster and stuff that's still maintained. And then right up there, lots of little details are still visible. Just really, really nice. The style and the detail work. Oh, this, I didn't even notice this. So this is a standing Buddha here. So I climbed up so we can get a little better look at it here. So the head is missing and the feet are missing, and then the hands. So this would have probably had the hand coming out in the like subduing Mara pose. The Sukhothai, they loved these standing Buddhas. Oh, this is just cool. And they had a gate here. You can see the metal hinges, but it's all gone now. And then you can see the laterite stones back behind the plaster. So this probably would have had like paintings and stuff in the plaster also. Oh, really nice. And more walls, more ruins all through there. Yeah, this is a archaeologist's dream to come here and dig around. Okay, so let's go to my favorite one here inside of this part, right up ahead there. So we have a little detour. Instead of going and looking at those elephants right quick, we're going to look at this one here. Wat Suan Kaeo Utthayan Noi. So the little one has the same name as that other one. And I saw this in the trees. I forgot all about it over here. It has this square building. And it has the Sukhothai style Chedi. Oh, it's really nice. So they talk right here that this was next to the royal palace. And it says they developed their own style, their Sukhothai art, using the Khmer art and the Sri Lankan art. And then right over here, this is where they think the royal palace was at. And it would have been made just out of wood, so it would have been completely gone. The religious buildings were made out of stone, and so that's why they're still here. Oh, this is just beautiful. And what I liked is they didn't miss a beat. They carved all of the walls, and they plastered, put all the styling in everything. So any surface they were carving and making it look nice. And then this had the laterite stones on the wall, and inside this like moon drop right here, you see the lotus bud archway, and then it had an image sitting right here. There's just a little piece of like an arm or something like that out of the laterite, and it still has a lot of the seated Buddha inside of it. Oh, this is nice. So that you see the different corners here. The Sukhothai corners, there was 3 of them. They had a style of the Chedi. It also had 3 like levels on the base. So you see the legs are mostly intact. Most of the body is. It had the laterite core with the plaster. The head is completely gone. You can see how much plaster they used here. This would have all been whitewashed and nice. So this is a really nice look at this. So there was stairs that went all the way up to that platform right there. So this had the 3 levels, 1, 2, 3. And that represented the hell, the earthly realm, and heaven. And they would have done the 3 corners on a lot of the buildings also. So they think this temple here might have been like the royal temple, like Wat Chang. So this would have been really important if it was near the royal palace. Okay, so now we can make our way over there to the elephants now. Okay, so here we are at Wat Chang Lom. And this is right in the center of Si Satchanalai. And the highlight is it has 39 elephants, and then it'll have on the second base, it'll have 20 little like nooks with Buddha images. And the elephants are just absolutely massive. And so let's walk through here and look at it. So this temple here, they believe, due to the inscriptions, was built in 1285 under the reign of King Ramkhamhaeng. And the inscription says that they dug up some Buddha relics, and then King Ramkhamhaeng paid respect to him, and then he built this Chedi to house the relics. And it has a couple little halls. It's mostly empty here. There would have been more stuff inside of it, but it would have had this nice hall that we would have came in from the east. And then it has a couple smaller little ones over there with some little satellite Chedis and stuff. So you can see the same styling with the columns, the laterite, the base for the Buddha, and then the main Chedi right up there. And then there's another one of these little basins. Yeah, those must have been like feet wash places. So you can see the outer wall. So they made it look like columns over here, and they stuccoed them, and then they put something in between. That would have been the styling here of this wall. And then this would have been the gate. Yeah, this is really nice. You can see how they stacked those laterite stones. And then here we go. This is the absolute highlight to me of Si Satchanalai. Oh, I just love these elephants. You can see how they were constructed. So they're missing their tusks and ears and stuff like that, but it has like a laterite stone core, and then they built the column on the, like in between the front and back legs to support the mass of the body. And then they have these other little columns here. I don't know if they would have been covered or what, but just absolutely amazing. I really like how they carved those small stones and built the core out of it. And then they would have put the plasterwork on top of it. So you can see this in here, the eyes and the mouth are still intact. And then they have the little patterns around his feet and everything else. And there's 39 of them. You can see the little rail up there, and then that's a Sri Lankan style Chedi, and just more of these elephants. And then these right here, those they put on top of the walls. That was like the Khmer styling. They put that on top of their walls. So this gate here, they've closed it off. You can still see the top of it. You can see they've supported some of them up to keep them from collapsing down. Most of them, there's not a whole lot left of them, but the ones that you do see are quite cool. There's just the legs, and some of them are in better shape. And over here's another gate that would have led over there. There would have been another temple over that away. Yeah, you can see out in the trees and stuff, there's more temples, more rubble, stuff like that, where they haven't restored any of those. As we walked all around, I was hoping to see one that was in the best shape. I think we saw the best example on the other side. Okay, so let's go up to there and we'll look at a couple of those little Buddha images on the second level. So this is kind of cool. So this would have been a handrail here, and you can see how they carved the little notches to put that top piece on top of it. So that rail would have looked like this, only slanted. And then it would have came across, and then it would have came up to like a little point. And then you can see the Buddha images right here. Yeah, this was purpose-built to be Buddhist. It wasn't ones that were Hindu that were converted over. This was 100% Buddhist. And then you can see they have, oh, I had like little Bodhi trees behind the seated Buddha. You can just see it in the plasterwork right there. Oh, this is really nice. The same has the sash going over, and then they have the little archways. This one here is in really, really nice shape. So you can see the style here is more of a true arch over the top instead of the corbelled arch. But it still has a little bit of the lotus bud up at the top. Yeah, really cool. Okay, so let's go and let's walk over that way now. Looks like we have some of the local monks coming over here. Yeah, so the monks are going to do something up there. And just a fantastic Chedi. Really, really nice shape. And as you can see, there's just small little temples like this all through here. So this is just Monument 17, Wat Som Siao. And there's just more all through here. And they would have had the moats, stuff like that. And then there's one over there, looks like they're doing some excavation. I can see a little building over there. And I can just see the top of a prong way, way over there. I've never been over to that temple before. And yet another one of these small little temples. This is Monument 18, Wat Nang Phaya. And then over here you can see some of the wall. And as you can see, just all kinds of little ruins all through here. And what we're doing is we're working our way up to this little hill over here. Over here is the south gate, the Sa Pan Chan gate. And you don't come into the site this way. It's blocked off, you can see. So they have the little hill here, no bicycles. They don't want you to crash, I guess. But this is the walled city. You can see all the wall over there. In the old days, you had to build a wall to keep your neighbors out, or else they would have came in and took all of your stuff. Okay, so we made it to the top of the hill. Now to climb some steps. This is Wat Chang Lom up here. Okay, so it's quite a little hike to get up here. And holy cow, looks like it's going to be worth it. Oh, this is nice. Okay, so we're greeted with all these ruins. So there's a hall there. There was a hall here. Looks like they used some brick inside of it in addition to the laterite. Then we have a small Chedi, and then this absolutely massive one built on this square base. You can see they use those brick here to build the Chedi, but still lots and lots of the laterite. The brick is really easy for them to make. They could fire them right here on the site, and then they didn't have to carry them so far. Check out this entryway. So we had some standing figures that look kind of eerie. They were just the eyes, and then this cool looking gate. Oh, that's magnificent. And you can see the styling with the corners that went up. And then you go through here, duck your head a little bit to see this small Chedi. It had a couple smaller little buildings around. So you can see there would have been a Buddha right there. And then that bell-shaped Chedi. And then this little room here would have had the octagonal shapes. That would have been the little building part. And then this main Chedi up here. So you can see here they would have had a walkway all the way around it. Now they have a modern building right there, but you can look down into the park from up here. Oh, this is fantastic. And you can see just the top of that Chang Lom over there. And then some more Chedis and stuff around. I don't know if there's a way we can walk up on the base. If not, we'll just have to look at it from down here. There's over here on the north side. Oh, it looks like we got some stairs here. So we had a Weehan over here on the north side. And it would have been a fairly good sized building with a couple small little Chedis around. Yeah, so it looks like we can go all the way up to the base. There's a lot of plaster there. And I don't know when this one was built. I would say probably Ayutthaya era, because you can see they have the laterite stones and stuff up there, but the use of brick all around would have been probably Ayutthaya. They really like using brick in their constructions. And they would have had Buddha images all around. Had a little shrine there, a little shrine there. And then, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but way up there are all the, like the walking Buddhas and stuff. And then it goes up to the spire. And this would have all been plastered and whitewashed. And here's another little Buddha image. Oh, this is fantastic. I've never seen this temple before, so it was nice getting over here today. And this would have had an image inside of it. And more of the same. You can see how much plaster was on there, like 2 inches of it. And then we have a nice little view over here towards the lowland. And then all the walls around that small little Chedi. And over that way, looks like the rain is coming in. Oh, I'm gonna get wet. And that's rice fields and a couple of small little mountains and stuff all around. And you can see how massive this is. So they put dirt down, and then they put the laterite stones, and they built the bases up and all the way up to the Chedi. Just a colossal undertaking. All right, guys, that's going to finish up our video over here at Si Satchanalai. How cool is this, though? I've been here before. Like I said, I was here like 2.5 years ago, and I said then that this is like my new favorite place in Thailand. Coming and visiting it again today reinforces that. This place is amazing, and you're so far away from like the tourists. I mean, it's a shame because this is every bit as good as Sukhothai or Ayutthaya, anything like that. The ruins are in fantastic shape, but it is quite a bit harder to get over here to it. And I've seen a total of 6 people while I'm walking around here. That doesn't include like the workers and stuff like that. But it's just empty and it's just waiting to be explored. So I would highly recommend it. If you get a chance, come over here to Si Satchanalai and combine it with Kamphaeng Phet and Sukhothai. You won't be disappointed at all. And if this is the first time you're here at my channel, make sure you subscribe, and then you're notified when I post a new video. I'm pretty active, so I show a lot of things. My explorations in Thailand and everywhere else I go. So if you like this kind of stuff, then definitely stick around, and then you're notified when I post a new video. And leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. If you've been here before, or if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll do my best to answer them. And definitely smash the like button. And until next time, and here comes the rain. Until next time. Remember, life is a journey. Until next time, enjoy.